spoiler warning for any non-manga readers of One Piece out there. Look, listen! We've been through this dog and pony show before, and time again, people keep on misinterpreting what is the reality, what is the truth between Luffy and Zoro. And now in this arc, a lot of fanboy groups have been put on blast, and people are shook to their core. So much so that they're upset at Oda himself because they had certain expectations on what they perceive to be the truth between Luffy and Zoro, but reality, so far from. But it makes so much sense because there's so much evidence for it. Now, to be fair, going back to the pre-time skip, Luffy versus Zoro Whiskey Peak. Whoa. What's stronger, fist or sword? Where's my sword? I'm the sword. It's whatever. Fist or sword? Which one would win? Luffy versus Zoro. That got folks hyped. And then when you think about their combo attack against the gigantic tidal wave in Water 7, I can never get its name right. At that moment, it looked like Zoro and Luffy were relatively equal, where Zoro had to struggle massively against Mr. One, but Luffy lost to Crocodile twice before getting that W. And then Zoro vs. Kaku was a struggle, absolutely. But Luffy versus Rob Lucci was just a flat-out war. So there was some sprinkles of evidence here or there where you could argue in the pre-time skip that Zoro wasn't that far behind, if at all, from Luffy. But the post-time skip has been built different for a minute now, for an honest-to-goodness minute. And everyone knows this by now. We've been through this dog and pony show before. Zoro, he beats Base Horty Jones, congratulations. He beats King Neptune, he beats Yuzo, he beats Monet, and he cuts down Pika. So Zoro's been studly. Zoro has been an absolute demon. But now, fanboys are upset and mad at Luffy and Oda because what it boils down to ultimately is that in this arc, we get confirmed in so many avenues, in so many ways. It is confirmed, it is as clear as crystal. Luffy is stronger than Zoro. Definitively stronger than Zoro. And the canisters of copium are flying off the shelves faster than Charmin's Ultra toilet paper at the beginning of the pandemic. Luffy's conquerors hockey godliness. Plus right now going 1v1 against land, sea, and air. Right now. Zoro, after his best shot on Kaido, and he scarred Kaido, but Kaido didn't even fall down on his back. Not like Katakuri, no. He stood up tall, chest out. Zoro is also right now struggling against King the Wildfire. No! And that's a big no-no. Oh my goodness. Because Zoro, before the Wano Country arc, was coasting. But let's be real here. Let's be honest to God, 1000% real here. Every W, every person that Zoro won against before Wano Country was weaker than Ulti. Absolutely. I got Ulti over every person that Zoro has beaten over the entirety of the post-time skip. They're getting headbutted into oblivion. Without a doubt. Ulti was about to force Luffy into Gear 4. Without a doubt. She is washing all these cats that Zoro beat. And in Wano Country Act 2, we got the gist that Zoro's not gonna have a cakewalk in Wano Country because Zoro got knocked out by Killer at the time Kamazo. Albeit there were circumstances on both fronts where they were both weakened, plus of course Gukimaru, but at the same time, no evidence for poison. Absolutely zero. But that agenda, of course, was pushed by a lot of folks that wanted to keep Zoro on this absolutely magnanimous pedestal where clearly he was far from. But he's been outstanding nonetheless. That's the crazy part. Even though Zoro is not the second strongest guy on the planet who can cut the red line in half with a single swing, and then Mihawk is number one who can cut the entire planet in two. No, even though that's not the case, he's been outstanding, right? And during the conquest of the sea, Big Mom and Kaido's combo attack, this man endured that. That was nuts! That was insane, yo. And yet, even after the attack, with most of his bones in his body broken by enduring that attack, still being able to fight and pull out the Ashura's Dead Man game. Dog, that is massively commendable. Cutting down the horn of Onigashima with the flying dragon blaze, scarring Kaido and so on. Zoro has been studly in Wano Country. But at the end of the day, he just ain't Luffy. Ever since Luffy could destroy half of the Noah Arc, ever since Gear 4,
Much later.
He's not Luffy. I did a video last year talking about Luffy's accelerated growth rate, where you could argue up until Gear 4, the monster trio were relatively close in power. But ever since Gear 4, Luffy has been built like a goddamn brick house. The man, dude, no. Luffy grows at a much faster growth rate than anyone else, including his own peers. That includes Zoro as well. King the Wildfire is the #2 of the Beast Pirates. The #2. And it's not like some old school Luigi Mario, like player #2, and that's a bad thing.
You ain't nothing but a player 2 ass nigga, Luigi. That's it. That's all you are. That's all you ever gonna be.
No. It's a really good thing. When you're the #2 of the Beast Pirates, that means that automatically, by default, you're in the top 30 strongest characters in One Piece, arguably speaking. And Zoro has never had an easy fight with any group's #2. Never. Why would King be any different? Why on God's green earth would King be any different? There's no evidence for that. Zero. The reality is, right now, Zoro versus King is on pace to be definitively the best one-on-one fight that Zoro's had in the entire post-time skip. If Zoro were to fight against Marco one-on-one, that is a very difficult fight for Zoro to win. An extraordinarily difficult fight for Zoro to win. If he fought against Sabo, the #2 of the Rev. Buckle up, Zoro. Buckle up, baby! Come on. Look, it's impressive. And in this fight, he probably gets stronger. Zoro has already gotten 3 power-ups so far in this arc. He's gotten the Firefox style, he has Enma, and Enma is the best sword in the verse, by far. Like no other sword. The thing is so damn good, it's damn near magical. Like Enma might as well be a Fate Stay Night sword Excalibur. Honest to God, like it is insane how good Enma is of a blade. And then he has the Conqueror's Hockey stuff in Bumit, which will probably be fleshed out. In the anime, bless Toei Animation, because in this arc, they are kicking a whole lot of booty. And Zoro, he's actually knocking out people in the anime. So the Conqueror's stuff, he's at 3 buffs so far. And the Nidai Katetsu isn't even in play yet. It's not in play yet. That's probably another power for Zoro after Wano Country, or the Wano Country. The Nidai Katetsu. Oda is going through hell and high water, clearly, for Zoro and Sanji to maintain some sort of balance with Monkey D. Luffy, because it's clearly Monkey Massive D Luffy. It is absurd how good he is. But Zoro has gotten his shine too, and it's been really damn cool to see Zoro do what he's done. The animosity, though, that some of these Zoro fans are projecting at Luffy and Oda is massively unwarranted. Massively unwarranted. And obviously, a lot of this animosity comes from the realization that there is a very good chance that Zoro is not going to be the one to defeat Kaido. That is clearly, obviously, Luffy's job, and the vast majority of the evidence was always in that favor. But the idea of Zoro defeating Kaido has always been popular, in a lot of circles, but that is looking far and far less likely as time goes on, and that Zoro fandom rage needs a target, and that target is Luffy and Oda. At no point in time in the post-time skip was there any concrete evidence at all that would even remotely suggest that Zoro was just as strong, or God forbid, stronger than Monkey Massive D Luffy. No shot. No shot. And that's fine. That's fine. When you look at the other Yonko crews, the Yonko tend to be significantly stronger than their next strongest people. That's what it just tends to be. And Luffy, I think, is following in somewhat that model. Even when we look at the power difference between, let's say, Gold D. Roger and his next best men, Scopper, Gabon, and Rayleigh, there is a clear gap of power between those two guys and Gold D. Roger. So even in more condensed and smaller crews, the power differential is still there between the captain and his next best men. Now, Zoro's getting power-ups, but you think Luffy's done? You think Luffy's done? Listen, hold up. Zoro is raw. Zoro is real. But he's not the realest nigga. When Luffy knocks Kaido on his back, despite Zoro not being gonna drop him on his back at all. When Yamato proclaims that it's only Luffy that can beat Kaido. And again, Luffy still has room to grow. We haven't even touched Awakening. And Gear 5, SBS. Oda is answering questions about Gear 5. Gear 5. Now, yes, Zoro will grow in his fight against King the Wildfire. I think that's very obvious. But Luffy, again, has always had a faster growth rate than Zoro has. You can point at the fact that during Enies Lobby, both Zoro and Sanji got 1 power-up, but Luffy got 2 power-ups, indicating that he does grow faster compared to, again, his peers. And then on top of that, the catalyst of his growth rate is against Kaido. And we have to recognize and realize that, people, we are reaching the endgame of the series. A few years are left in the story, all right? And there's a very, very damn good chance that come the end of Wano Country, Luffy will be strong enough one-on-one to beat someone like Mihawk.
That is black.
No.
Mihawk, Zoro's dream. At the end of Wano Country, it would not shock me at all if Luffy was on that level. Especially if Gear 5 is involved. Oh, man. Luffy is going to be disgusting. And it makes sense because come the end of the series, he will be the strongest person in the series, with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions. Blackbeard and or Emu. Maybe, in theory. It depends on how I perceive who the final vote could be in the series. It's up to you. For me, when Mihawk stated a long time ago in the East Blue Saga that Luffy's dream was harder than becoming the world's greatest swordsman, the world's strongest swordsman, that to me, from that point on, it was definitive. Even though the gap could be close between Luffy and Zoro, there would still be a gap. One-on-one, when it's Luffy versus Zoro, you always bet on Luffy.
What? Stop it.
And that's how it's gonna be. Now, Zoro should really be worried about the guy next to him, Vinsmoke Sanji. But let me know your stance on the subject matter at hand. A quick little video, but I've been seeing this animosity, this unwarranted animosity towards Luffy and Oda's writing, where the signs have, honest to God, have always been there. They've always been there in terms of Luffy just being an absolute monster. And even though his crewmates are monsters in their own respects, Luffy is a monster among monsters. That I think has always been apparent for a very, very, very long time. Again, it's the same dog and pony show, but to me, even though I've loved what Zoro's done, it just kind of is a little bit irritating to see, just a little bit irritating, which why the video exists, honestly. A little bit irritating to see folks, like, honestly believe that Zoro should, like, low diff King.
What?
It's mind-numbing. That's actually smooth brain. The second strongest of a Yonko crew should be low diff. If Kizaru couldn't low diff Marco, what on... We've been through this before. I want to see you cats on the flip side. Let me know your stance on the subject matter at hand. Stay safe. Have a nice one. Peace out.